Hi guys, it is still September 12, 2013, and I apologize for having to do this with this handheld camera, but Snagit has not been working all day. I've been doing more research on the effects on human health from the spraying that they're doing, the geoengineering, solar radiation management, chemtrails, call it what you will. But it's scary because my health, I know, is declining, and I know that it's because of what I'm breathing in. It's also from the frequencies that are being emitted from various sources. The electromagnetic smog that we're living in 24/7. Impacts of chemtrails on human health. Nanoaluminum, neurodegenerative and neurodevelopmental effects. This was written in July by Russell Blaylock, and I made the mistake in one of my videos when I said that Russell Blaylock was a neurologist, and was rather firmly, maybe even sternly, corrected that he is a neurosurgeon. So, this is his article. The internet is littered with stories of chemtrails and geoengineering to combat global warming, quote unquote, and until recently I took these stories with a grain of salt. One of the main reasons for my skepticism was that I rarely saw what they were describing in the skies. But over the past several years I have noticed a great number of these trails, and I have to admit they are not like the contrails I grew up seeing in the skies. They are extensive, quite broad, are laid in a definite pattern, and slowly evolve into artificial clouds. Of particular concern is that there is evidence that they are spraying tons of nano-sized aluminum compounds. It has been demonstrated in the scientific and medical literature that nano-sized particles are infinitely more reactive and induce intense inflammation in a number of tissues. Of special concern is the effect of these nanoparticles on the brain and spinal cord, as a growing list of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's dementia, Parkinson's disease, and Lou Gehrig's disease, are strongly related to exposure to environmental aluminum. Nanoparticles of aluminum are not only infinitely more inflammatory, they also easily penetrate the brain by a number of routes, including the blood and olfactory nerves, the smell nerves, and the nose. Studies have shown that these particles pass along the olfactory neural tracts, which connect directly to the area of the brain that is not only most affected by Alzheimer's disease, but also the earliest affected in the course of the disease. It also has the highest level of brain aluminum in Alzheimer's cases. The intranasal route of exposure makes spraying of massive amounts of nano-aluminum into the skies especially hazardous, as it will be inhaled by people of all ages, including babies and small children, for many hours. We know that older people have the greatest reaction to this airborne aluminum. Because of the nano-sizing of the aluminum particles being used, home filtering systems will not remove the aluminum, thus prolonging exposure even indoors. In addition to inhaling nano-aluminum, such spraying will saturate the groundwater vegetation with high levels of aluminum. Normally, aluminum is poorly absorbed from the GI tract, but nano-aluminum is absorbed in much higher amounts. This absorbed aluminum has been shown to be distributed to a number of organs and tissues, including the brain and spinal cord. Inhaling this environmentally suspended nano-aluminum will also produce tremendous inflammatory reaction within the lungs, which will pose a significant hazard to children and adults with asthma and pulmonary diseases. I pray that the pilots who are spraying these dangerous substances fully understand that they are destroying the life of their families as well. This is also true of our political officials. Once the soil plants and water sources are heavily contaminated, there will be no way to reverse the damage that has been done. Steps need to be taken now to prevent an impending health disaster of enormous proportions if this project is not stopped immediately. Otherwise, we will see an explosive increase in neurodegenerative diseases occurring in adults and the elderly in unprecedented rates, as well as neurodevelopmental disorders in children. We are already seeing a dramatic increase in these neurological disorders, and it is occurring in younger people than ever before. And there are a whole lot of references at the bottom of this article. I will link below. But guys, we are so being slow killed, it is beyond belief. It is really... I'm sorry. We are way past the point of not dealing with the reality. And so many of us are really suffering the consequences of what they are doing with this geoengineering. And the consequences are serious. So no, I'm not going to gloss it over. It is very frightening, especially when you can feel those consequences as you're trying to get through your day. Thanks for watching. The link to the article is below.